Chinese electric auto giant BYD has released a bold supercar concept through its premium Fang Changbao brand. The Super 9 rocks no roof, the barest hint of windscreen, and lascivious scissor doors, and it's apparently headed for production. BYD is the world's largest EV producer. It produced 20% of the 10 million EVs sold globally last year, from Tesla, 13%, Volkswagen, 9%, and General Motors, 6%. Those are all very rough figures for simplification purposes. It is also the dominant brand in the world's largest and fastest-growing automotive market, at a time when the global industry is starting to go through massive upheaval as it electrifies. Henceforth, think of BYD as the likely market leader because it is already producing domestic and commercial EVs at massive scale, and it has been brand building in China for a very long time. BYD is an industrial complex of significant proportion already, purpose-built to lead the way in the electrification of a country with 1.5 billion people, so it isn't by chance that its constituent companies also build smartphones and electric monorails. With its own massive low-car ownership marketplace of 1.5 billion people to work with to build intelligent scaled production, it can be expected to be fielding very competitive EVs in every market category before too long. This Super 9 concept is another signal that China is seriously intending to go after the supercar market just as convincingly as it is moving to dominate the low-cost end of the market. Fang Changbao is a high-end brand being developed by BYD. Until this point, it has focused on electric SUVs, with the Leopard 5 its only model released so far. The company has previously shown two other SUV concepts, the Leopard 3 and Leopard 8, so the showing of an open-top sports car in this Super 9 concept suggests that there might eventually be two or more lineages emerging. One of the nuggets of information that escaped the internal conference where it was announced is that the production version will be called the Bao 9, so apart from the inference that production is on the agenda, the name would also suggest that we may ultimately see Leopards 1 to 9 and Baos 1 to 9, and maybe more bloodlines for different purposes. Unlike the Leopard 5, the Bao 9 is expected to be battery electric. Here's what we know about the Super 9 concept so far. It's a two-seater with scissor doors, a dual cockpit separated by a strip of bodywork, and integrated carbon fiber seats. It's got a fighter jet-style cockpit, with a steering wheel that conjures either Formula 1 or an advanced video game rig, with additional buttons and controls on either side and down the center console. The chassis is carbon fiber, which will keep the weight down, although it'll still run a heavy battery pack, which will affect outright handling. Of course, the main event here is the fact that there's no roof or windscreen whatsoever, and both driver and passenger will be fully exposed to the raw sensation of speed, with only the tiniest hint of a glass bump in front of each seat, to help direct wind up and over your head once you're moving. This certainly doesn't make the Super 9 concept unique, the McLaren Elva and Aston Martin V12 Speedster having already been released with similar roofless designs. The McLaren is probably the more interesting of the bunch, since it channels a wall of air up through the hood to create a virtual windscreen that might keep your hair in better shape on the highway. Either way, it's a bold and arresting design, and a statement concept from BYD. We're interested to see how well it makes the transition to a production model.